specifically for back pain. So in my clinic I see a lot of the time people who come in with restriction in the upper back and the lower back. And even though treatment can be really, really great, also it would be fantastic to do a little bit more mobility at home. And so we're just gonna talk about the different joints and the different muscles that are involved through our practice. So that will start to bring a little bit of awareness on what is important to move and how to move safely within your yoga practice when you're not feeling 100% at the top of your game. Okay, so we're going to start by just simply sitting down. Find a position that is comfortable for you. Might be cross-legged, you might be in samurai. And just take a moment to get any props that you might need. So for this class, we don't particularly need anything today, but if you have the habit of using a brick or a bolster, there is some places where we can implement that, where I will give you the option of bringing that in to your practice. So just go and get those. And when you're ready, you're gonna come and sit down, either samurai, cross-legged, or whatever works for you. Gently close your eyes. And start to breathe in and out slowly. Gently bringing the attention to your breath. And observing the quality of your breath. Is it full? Is it fast? Maybe it's a little bit ragged. You feel that you're breathing only in the upper chest and you're not completely expanding. Take a few breaths here, a few moments to really start to inhale and just balloon your belly out. And exhale, soften the muscle in your belly. Once again, you inhale, you lengthen your spine. And you exhale, you soften the shoulders away from the ears. Taking a few moments to gently observe how our body is feeling and gently tuning in the present moment. Breath, you're going to gently open up your eyes and you're going to come into stand. So moving nice and slowly, we're just going to come straight to the wall. So we're going to use a little bit of support for the wall today in order to give our back a little bit of sustain. So you want to start with your feet about a foot away from the wall and just lean all the way from the hips to the shoulders of the wall. As you breathe in, you're going to lift up your hands, join them at the top. And maybe resting elbow to elbow. And as you breathe out, you're gently starting to fold on your right. Breathe in, you're coming back to the center. You're keeping the back in contact with the wall. And you breathe out, you're just gently moving to the left. Starting to be aware of anywhere where it pulls. And just with your own breath, as you breathe out, you fold to the side. And as you breathe in, you come to the center. We're starting to warm up your spine. You don't need to go very far, as long as you can start to feel a little bit of the stretch. It will be here, on the side of the shoulder, all the way maybe down to the hip. Keep moving with your own breath. If you can't keep your hands in touch with the wall and they need to come out a little bit, that's fine also. And we do another couple of breaths. Keeping the base solid, so the weight stays the same on the feet and in the hips. And you're only allowing the upper body to move, creating a bit of space in between your vertebrae. Allowing the wall to support your spine. This is okay to do even when you have a little bit of back pain. Obviously you could do the same thing in freestanding, but it has quite a different feel to it. Coming back to the center, relax your arms. Gently take a breath and take a moment to observe how far the shoulders may be from the wall. So if you're finding that they're really forward, that there is a good gap in between the shoulder blade and the wall, just probably means that the shoulders are anteriorly rotated, and we're just going to do a few stretches to open them up. But this is just a moment as you breathe to take conscience of where you're at. And then on the next breath in, once again the hands to the ceiling. This one we're keeping the hands as straight as possible. And as you exhale, you're reaching on to the left, just a little bit stronger. Making sure you're keeping the shoulder as close to the wall as possible. Breathe into the center. And breathe out to the left. Making the movement slow so the muscle fibers have the time to open. Breathing in. And out, and you gently move. Just doing one more per side, so breathe in through the center. Exhale, you're going to the right. Allow the head to move together with the hands. Inhale to the center. And once again, you exhale to the left. Both feet are still nicely grounded. Breathe in. Coming back to the center, release your arms beside you. Once again, take a breath. And as you breathe in, you're lifting your shoulders all the way up to your ears. And breathe out, you relax them, flatten them on the wall a little bit more. Do it one more time, breathe in. Raise them as far up as you possibly can. And breathe out, soften your shoulders, let them flop. Great, on the next breath in, you're going to reach up with your right arm and gently taking hold of your left ear. So we're only gently putting a little bit of traction. And we stay here for 5 breaths. Just lengthening all through from the reach of your occiput all the way through your shoulder. Allow your body to gently soften, don't force it here. Only go as far as you can. And once again, reconnect with your breath. Make sure that each time you breathe in, the belly is ballooning. And each time you breathe out, you're completely flattening, you're completely letting go of all the air before your next breath. Breathe in. And breathe out. We're just doing one last one here. Breathe in. And breathe out. Gently letting go of your head and coming back to the center. Close your eyes. And just take a moment of observation. Just simply tune in to feel the difference between the left and the right. And then on the next breath in, is the left arm that comes up, gently touching on the right ear. And once again, keeping the shoulders as close to the wall as possible with gentle traction. Letting gravity do the work. And once again, we're staying here for 5 breaths. Sometimes when you're very tight in this area, you might get reference pain in some different points, like the lower back or the front of the arm. It just simply means there is some active trigger point. Just try to keep breathing through. And on the next breath, again coming back to the center, drop both your arms. Close your eyes. And as you breathe in, you're lifting your shoulders all the way up towards your ears. And as you breathe out, you soften, you let them go. And again, take a moment of observation of how the shoulders are feeling now compared to where you started. Great. Gonna gently open your eyes. Get your feet straight, same width of the hips. Lengthen through your tailbone. Open the chest and relax your arms. On the next breath in, you're going to lift both your hands up. And on the next breath out, forward fold. And on top of the head towards the ground. You can keep your knees as bent as you need for your lower back to feel ease. Then a couple of breaths here in forward fold. On the next breath, hands to the shins or on the floor depending on your flexibility, and you breathe into a straight back. Imagine it's like a table from the top of the head to the lower back, straight line. Tuck in your chin gently. Doing a couple of breaths here. Breathe out, you forward fold again. Breathe in, open your arms wide and you're coming all the way back up. Take one breath here and on the next breath out, gentle back bend. So you're pushing forward with the hips and you're engaging in your abdomen to protect your lower spine. Taking one breath. Breathe into the center, and as you breathe out, you're gently folding to the right. The head follows the rest of the spine. Breathe into the center, and breathe out to the left. So we eventually started to warm up our spine in every direction. Breathe into the center, and breathe out. Forward fold, top of the head towards the ground. On the next breath in, you're leaving the left hand on the ground and you're opening the right hand towards the ceiling. Breathe out, coming straight down. And breathe in. Is the right side down and the left that comes up. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe into a straight back. Breathe out, bring hands to heart prayer. And as you breathe out, you bring it across the left elbow onto the right knee. You're keeping the legs the same. Maybe you want to keep the right leg straight, and you can bend a little on the left if you need to. Use the hands to push yourself a little bit more into a twist. Maybe if your hamstrings are not really warm, you can keep both of the legs a little bit bent. See what works. Breathe out to the center. And on the next breath, we're going to the opposite side. So once again, I'm bending a little bit my right leg and I'm keeping the left leg straight if possible. And I'm pushing hand onto hand to create more space in my twist. Breathe out to the center, fold. Breathe in, wide arms open. And breathe out, gentle back bend. Breathe into the center. Breathe out, we're going to the right. Breathe into the center. Breathe out to the left. Now that is the second time around, you might find that you start to have a little bit more flexibility. As you breathe out, you forward fold. Breathe in, you open into the right. Left hand on the ground, right hand towards the ceiling. Breathe out back to the center. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, you open to the left. Right hand stays on the floor. Breathe in back to the center. Take a full breath here. And on the next breath out, you come into a straight back. Breathe in, hands to heart center. Making the twist happen from the upper body, keeping the legs as straight as possible. You bring elbow to the opposite knee. So left elbow, right knee. Push the hands to look up into a twist. If possible, with your head, you're looking towards your elbow. Breathe in, come to the center. And breathe out, we're going to the other side. So now that the muscles are a little bit warm, you have the option of keeping your legs both straight, but only if that serves you. Breathe in, dropping the hands to the floor. Breathe out, straight back. Breathe in, and on the next breath out, gently coming all the way back up. Breathe in, reach long. Breathe out, gentle back bend. You can let your head go towards the back wall if you want. Breathe in, coming to the center. Breathe out, folding onto the right. Keep your spine long as you're doing this. Breathe in and breathe out to the left. The third time around, I start to find that my lower back is a lot warmer. I have more space to go to. Breathe out, forward fold, top of the head towards the floor. Once again, you can have your legs slightly bent or straight. And as you breathe out, you open on the right side, reaching long. Breathe into the center. And breathe out is the other side, coming all the way up. Breathe into the center. Breathe out, straight back. Breathe in, hands to heart center. And once again, left elbow, right knee. Push and look up. Breathe into the center. And right elbow, left knee. Hinging the hands on the hips, bending the knees, rolling yourself one vertebra at a time, all the way straight up into standing. Hands on the shoulders. Breathe in and you start to do some circles. Keeping the knees soft and trying to find length in your spine as you're doing this. Breathe in, hands to the ceiling, breathe out, fold. This time I'm bending the legs, I'm having my palms full on the ground, and I'm sitting to samurai position. If you don't find this, you can always come into a cross leg, making sure your spine is long. So you have like a piece of string going from the top of the head all the way to your sacrum. Breathe in, open the shoulders a little, let your arms fall to the side. Once again, find your breath. As you breathe in, you're going to lift your right hand on the left knee and breathe out. Is the left hand across to the right hip. Breathe in, lift your chest and breathe out, twist. Stay 2 breaths here. In a very gentle twist. You're going to feel the stretch most likely in the anterior shoulder on your left side. And maybe a little bit across the ribs. Breathe in, relax completely, breathe out. Here on the next breath in is the left hand that comes up across to the right knee and the right hand across the left hip. Breathe in, lift your chest. Breathe out, look behind. Breathe in, lift, and breathe out, twist a little bit more. Breathe in, coming back to the center. Gonna come straight back onto our fours. Making sure that the knees are the same width of the hips. The hands are straight underneath the shoulders. As you breathe in here, as you breathe out, you gently come into a child pose. Relax the head to the floor. Breathe in, coming straight back to the fours. As you breathe out, you're lifting. Hand all the way to the ceiling on the right. Breathe out, drop the head, drop the shoulders, gently twist. Allow your body weight to fall onto your right shoulder. And with the left shoulder, you're pushing yourself a little bit deeper into the twist, starting to really warm the middle of the back, around your breast strap, around your diaphragm. On the next breath in, you're going to come up again, keeping yourself grounded in your hips. And as you breathe out, once again, you're coming down. Once again, just allow gravity to do its work. You're staying 5 breaths here. And on the next breath, coming straight to your full. Find your neutral spine by arching and flattening your back a couple of times. Find a position that is in between. You're not arched with your head up or down. And on the next breath, you're going to extend your right leg to the side. You'll feel the stretch inside the leg, but it's starting to really open in the hip. Right. Doing one more breath. And then gently starting to walk your legs around until you have one hand on each side of your right leg. Open and lift the chest, and then fold. Gently coming back to the center. Reposition your hands the same width of the shoulders. And when you're ready, you're going to start to do some circle with your right leg on the ground. So you're going to twist it all the way across the left leg. And then you're going to come. Keeping stability in your spine as you're doing this. Just mobilizing the back by moving the leg. And you're going to bring the leg all the way at the same height of the arms. You want to open the chest, and as you breathe in, you're going to bring the hands to heart center. And as you breathe out, you're going to touch down with your elbow towards your knee. If you can't reach, it doesn't matter. You can be here and do the same motion without forcing. Always listening to your body. And breathe out. Coming back. And on the next breath, coming back to your fours and child pose. Drop the head, lengthen the arms. Close your eyes. And just take a moment here just to listen what's happening in the body again. We have worked on one side and not on the other one yet. And when you're ready, you're coming straight back onto your floor. Distribute your weight evenly. So always make time to position yourself properly before we start our next sequence. When you're ready, you're going to lift your right arm, left arm towards the ceiling, and as you breathe out, you fold. So let gravity do its work, the head towards the floor. Abandon the weight completely on the shoulder and head. And take a few breaths here to relax. Stretching between the shoulder blades. Breathe in, we're going all the way back up. Crack, that was my wrist. And breathe out. So if you find that some joints are cracking along the way, don't stress about it. They just have a little bit of gas in the joint, and when they crack, that gas is released. It's not something you look for, but it's not something to be worried for either. Push yourself in the deeper stretch here. One more breath. It's amazing how much better it feels on this side for me than the other. So always take the time to notice what is happening in your body. We're always looking for symmetry and balance. And as you breathe in, coming back to your force. Again, find that position where your back is not arched or flat. So you're going to move a couple of times into a cat-cow. And then on the next breath, you're going to hinge this time the left leg and bring it to the side. Drop it to the side there and see how it feels for a second. And then you're shaping your body backwards, twisting, and then one hand on each side of the leg. If you can't do this with a straight leg, you can always bend the left leg at this stage. But trying as you're twisting to open and lengthen the spine. And gently coming back to your force. And when you're ready, we're going to start to do a bit of mobility with the legs. So we're bringing it across, upright, and then bring it along. We'll do it a couple of times. This is going to make your spine stronger. Mobilize your hip joint. So a lot of your pain sometimes is not isolated in one segment. You have to think about everything that is happening underneath and above. When you're ready, you're going to bring the foot at the same height of the hands. Distribute your weight, relax your neck and your jaw. And when you're ready, you're going to come up, hands to heart center. Take one breath. And as you breathe out, you're going to twist. And if it's comfortable, you're going to bring your elbow towards your leg. If not, you can do it floating in space. We're doing one more breath. And gently coming back to the center. Hands on the mat. Hinging the leg back. This time we're bringing the hands as far out as possible. You have a couple of options. The next pose we're going to stay in for 30 breaths. So it's a melting heart pose where the chest comes down to the mat and opens quite strongly in the middle of the back. If this is not available for you because it feels too strong, you can come to a child pose either with your hands in the front or beside you. And when you're ready, just keeping your hips high, you're coming down and you're tucking in. So the gentler option is to rest on your forehead. However, if you want something slightly stronger, you can just tuck on your chin. And then we stay in this position for 30 breaths. If you have chosen the melted heart position and you start to find a little bit too strong, you can just revert to a child pose. We always want to listen to your body and don't want to go too far. And keep breathing. I said once again, so if you're starting to find that this position is a little bit too much, switch now to a child pose. And otherwise we're doing another 10 breaths. with your arms behind you. Take a few moments to let completely float and reconnect with your breath here. Allow your upper back to soften. Great. And on the next breath, once again, you're going to come up to your fours. And when you're ready, you're going to hinge your right leg just beside your hands. If this is a little bit too strong, you have the option of staying back here. However, if this is comfortable, you can start to open the leg on the side and perhaps come down on your elbows. So the hip flexors are also another important muscle in your back health. It's the muscle that brings the knee towards your chest kind of motion, and is always locked when you're sitting down. So this kind of stretch is going to really help to mobilize all that part. So it can help with lower back pain and a generally sedentary lifestyle. But choose the version of the pose that works for you. And as they are deep and strong muscle, they need time to release. So we're staying another 5 breaths. On the next breath in, you're going to push yourself back up. And you're going to bring the right foot around the heel. The left hand drop the knee. So you have the foot at the height of the left hand and the knee at the right height of the right hand. Preparing yourself for a pigeon pose. So when you can open the chest, you can breathe in. And as you breathe out, you can maybe gently come down. It could be that you're on your elbows. If you can't really feel much still happening here, you can gently come down a little bit further. And perhaps relax the forehead, the top of your hands. Keep breathing in and out. Allow your body to soften. Staying here for 20 breaths. Stay connected with your breath. Allow the body to soften and lengthen. And keep breathing in and out. And gently coming straight back onto your hands. Lift and open the chest. Lift the head. And gently work on bringing the hips a little bit closer to the ground. So when we do this, I usually slide the leg that is on the ground a little bit further back in order to try to bring my tailbone as close to the ground as possible. You'll feel a really quite precise glute stretch. Making sure that the hips are square. So that means if you imagine your hips there like headlights, they're both looking forward. Keep opening the chest. Great. So you're going to hinge your back foot. So in this case it's the left foot. It's going to be a hinge. I'm putting the weight onto my hands and I'm coming straight back. gently ease off for a couple of breaths in child pose. Once again, you tune in here and you listen to what is happening on the right side compared to the left. And usually after I work on one side, I find one side is a lot flatter. My body weight seems to always go to the side that has been opened. And on the next breath, coming straight back onto your fours, is still again, right foot that comes forward. Great. When you're ready, you bring in the right hand onto the right knee, the left hand also. Open the chest and lift up. So the back foot can be either tucked if you need a little bit of stability, but if that puts pressure on your knee, you can relax it, and you can also maybe have a folded blanket under that knee. Open, lift up the chest, keep the shoulders square, and as you breathe in, you're going to bring the hands to heart center. As you breathe out, you're going to bring the left elbow onto the right knee, looking into the side. Find a point of focus, lengthen your breath. Use the hands, push it deeper into the twist. The joint is quite open now. So you can stay here or you can open up your arms. Also, if you want to go a little bit further, you can always reach across your foot. Keep your focus and keep breathing. So when you're doing balance work, and this will be considered already as balance, find a point that is unmoving. Focus your gaze there. Connect with your breath. Never hold your breath. It will be a lot easier. Gently letting go of your leg. Coming back to heart center. And hands both to the mat. Back to the floors. Little stretch backwards. And on the next breath in is the opposite side. We bring it across the left leg. The foot is just sitting right next to my hands. I'm sinking into the hip. So you can stay here, or you have the option of bending the knee to the side and perhaps coming down to your elbows. Just because you could do it on one side, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can do it on the other side. And you should not go here if you feel pain or huge restriction. So we're stretching less is more. As far as intensity, always respect your body. Don't force. It's just a matter of exploring and see where it wants to go today. And where it goes today might be different from yesterday, and it's completely okay. Once again, you're going to reconnect with your breath. And you're staying here for another 5 breaths. Softening in the abdomen. Letting gravity do all the work. And on the next breath in, you bring in the knee back up, popping back up to your hands. Slide the leg a little bit backwards. Open the chest. Great. And so you bring in this time the left foot just straight under the right hand, and the left knee just underneath the left hand. Lift up, look up. And then from here you can allow your body to abandon itself to the mat. So you need to start and see how it feels when it comes down to your elbows. If that's still not very strong, you can put one hand on top of the other. And allow your forehead to come towards the mat. So my intention at this point is to try to get my left hip towards the mat. That will increase a little bit the level of stretch. And on the other hand, on the right side, As my body relaxes, I find that right hip is gently starting to touch on my foot. It might get there, it might not. Or maybe it does, sometimes it doesn't. I keep breathing in and out, softening. And again, just gently tune in and see how it feels on this side compared to what it was on the other side. So as the hip flexors are really important, the glutes also are part of the lower back health. This is the muscle that usually takes the brunt of the load of the lower back work when your core is not switched on. So as most of us, the core is not always switched on. Glutes are one of the biggest supporters of the back health. So it's really important to give them a little bit of ease and let them lengthen. Great. On the next breath, you're going to come back straight to your hands. Slide the leg a little bit backwards so that you want to bring your right front of the hip as close to the mat as possible, keeping the shoulders open, lifting the head. Great. And here, and then gently come back to our fours. And when you're ready, you're going to bring, once again, your left foot to the front. And then you're bringing one hand onto the left, and then the other one. So you have options staying here, or you can lift the leg across. Very good. Find your balance. Open the chest. And gently letting go of your leg. And one more breath. And both hands back to the mat. Start bringing your knees the width of the mat, and you're gently coming down. And when you're ready, sitting back here, bringing the hands behind you. Just taking a moment to open the chest. Preparation for our next pose. So for the next pose, we're coming into fish. Fish, it's not always accessible depending on what day you're having. This could be the place where you can use the bolster if you want to. Just see what's suitable for you. If you like to do it assisted, the bolster will be across here. So ideally we want to lift our chest as we're dropping the head. So you're just going to lift your right hip, put your hand on the hip, and then you're going to lift the left. Do the same thing. Straighten the legs in front of you. Point your toes away. And gently you're coming straight onto your elbows. So you can stay here above your chest and still keep looking towards your feet. Or you can let your head drop with or without a bolster. So you're keeping your legs active as you're opening the chest. You bring one shoulder blade towards the other. So the point of touching with the mat is the top of the head, the elbows, and now the glutes, the leg, the back of the heels. And as as you breathe in, keep opening the chest towards the ceiling. And keep breathing normally, so you're still ballooning your belly as you're breathing in. And softening as you're breathing out. We're doing one more breath. So the safe way to get out of this position is to start to work with the head first. You tuck it into your chest. And then you push yourself back up. Crossing your legs, give yourself a little hug. Lengthen the spine. Close your eyes. And tune in how you feel. We're just going to lengthen the legs in front of us. Keeping our spine long, open the shoulder. If you need, you can put a block underneath. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, you're going to bring both hands towards your left. Take one breath here. Breathe in, coming to the center. And breathe out, and coming both hands towards the right. Allowing yourself to hinge at the hip. Try to keep the chest open and the head tucked in as you're doing this. Breathe in. Repeat it one more. Breathe out. Doesn't matter how far you go, but just try to hinge at the hip. Breathe in. And breathe out. Great. I'm going to roll my body onto the right side. Bending the knees, relax the head on the mat. Starting with hand on hand. Now comes the best part. As you breathe in, you open your arm as far as you can, keeping the knees flat on the ground. And as you breathe out, you come back and close your arm. So with your breathing, you're going to open. Each time, trying to go a little bit further. Allow your head to fall, keeping the knee pushing into the floor. And last one, breathe in. Allow the ribs to expand. Great. And on the next breath, arm is doing a semicircle all the way back up. The head follows. Just doing a semicircle all the way down. This will stretch all the way from your armpit to the hip. Side twists are really, really important for your back health. They create a little bit of space in between the vertebrae. They lubricate. Stretch the tendons. Doing one more semicircle. So this time around, when you reach the point where you can feel a gentle pull towards your armpit, you're gonna stay there and you're gonna breathe. And on the next breath, bring the semicircle to completion and bring the arm one next to the other. You breathe in, you open round to the side, allow your body to roll onto your back. And as you breathe out, you're dropping the knees to the right, the head to the left. And breathe in, you keep alternating to the other side. Start to feel the difference in between the side you have stretched and the side that you haven't worked on yet. Dropping the knees, creating space, the head goes the other way. And once again, follow your breath. the shoulders flat on the mat and open. Great, and next time you let yourself roll, this time on the left. Dropping the head, bending the knees. As you breathe in, keeping the knees flat on the ground, you open your arm all the way back. And breathe out. Hands on top of one another. Breathe in. Open to the side. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. The next breath in, you're doing a semicircle, coming all the way back up. Reaching across long, the head follows the hand. And it doesn't matter if you can touch on the ground or not. As long as the knees are staying grounded and you can feel the stretch. Allow your body to move slowly from one position to the other. Start to ease off the joint, the shoulder, opening your pecs. Each person feels this in quite different regions. Somebody feels it all the way only up here. For me, I feel this in the hip. Depends on where you hold intention. Reaching long. And just the last one. You're gonna reach the point where you feel the most stretch. You're staying there and breathing. And as you breathe out, you finish your semicircle, and as you breathe in, coming all the way back up. Breathe in again and open your arm to the side. Allow the knees to come to the center. And once again, dropping the knees on one side. Breathing into the center and dropping on the other. And once again, observe how it feels now that you have stretch on both sides. Keep moving with your own breath. Coming back to the center, gently holding the knee. As you exhale, you're going to bring all the way up to your chest. Breathe in, resting the hands on the knee, lengthening them as far as they go back, keeping the hands on there. So breathe out, knees to the chest. Breathe in, lengthen, put the pressure on the sacrum. Just a very gentle lower back release. Breathing in and out. And then gently starting to draw some figures of 8 with your hips on the mat. And you just go to the center, then the drop in a circle to one side, a circle on the other. Keep wiggling side to side. Gently resting each hand underneath each knee, and you're going to start to do some wide circles with your legs. Allow the weight to release the socket of the hip, as well as a gentle stretch for the lower back each time you go up and down. We do one more. Great. Crossing your legs, holding your knees just underneath, rocking yourself forward, and gently forward fold. Your legs cross, maybe hands, maybe elbows on the mat. Breathe in, lengthen the spine, puff up the chest, and breathe out, fold a little bit further. Gently starting to walk your hands all the way to the right side. Keep the hips flat on the ground, twist and stretch your back. And gently walking the other side. Lift and twist. Coming back to the center, forward fold. Breathe in, interlock the fingers. And breathe out, lift the arms. If this is too strong for you, you can always do relaxing each hand on the forearm or just a gentle lift here. So whatever works. One more breath. And gently bring yourself back up to seated position. Holding your knees. And just slide straight onto your back. Breathe in, lengthen your arms and lengthen your legs. Allow the shoulders to flatten on the mat. Just have a moment of a feel what is going on in the back and the hips. Breathe in and you're gonna lengthen as far out as you can with both your hands and your feet. And breathe out, soften. Let yourself drop completely. Great. And on the next breath in, you're going to bring your arms just beside you. And prepare yourself for Shavasana. And when you're ready, I'll get you to lie straight on your back. And just take a couple of deep breaths. Just taking a moment here to tune in your body and see how you're feeling. Gently following the thread of your breath. And just start to pay attention to any restrictions that you might find. If comfortable now, you're going to start to slow down your breathing. You're going to start to inhale for 4. And then softly exhale for 4. If this is a little bit too long or too short for you, just gently readapt it to what feels comfortable. And as you're tuning in your body, I'll start to bring awareness to any sensation of discomfort or of pain. Gently see if there is any area still holding on to a little bit of restriction. And keep gently breathing in and out. And with the next breath, we're going to set the intention to gently let go of the areas that is still holding the tension. And as you exhale, you just let your body flop. Just let it go. Imagine that you're surrounding your hands around that area. But instead of holding a part of your body, you're holding in your hands a little baby squirrel. As you use imagination, think that it's a very cold day outside in the snow and he can't find his way home. And as you surround your hands around him, you start to warm him up, to give him comfort. Not being angry because it's out, not knowing where he is, but gently supporting, nourishing. And on the next breath in, I get you to think for a second what it would be like if instead of fighting pain, you were to embrace it. And what if, instead of finding that your body has let you down, you try to understand it? We're just going to take a few breaths here. Gently in and out, letting your body soften. And on the next breath in, imagine that you're holding some really dark earth from the forest in your hands. You can feel the richness of the ground, and you can gently smell the aroma of the forest with the mushrooms and the wood. Just for a second, as you're holding it in your hands, imagine what it would be like if your hands were like sunshine, bringing warmth and life. And as you stay there and breathe, all of a sudden you feel the earth changing underneath your hands. Some tiny movements. Like life that is sprouting in spring. At the beginning you can't see anything happening on the surface, but the seeds are already germinating. And as you keep breathing in and out, one single seed starts to sprout underneath your hands. Slowly, starting to have some small, tiny, white roots, even before any leaf has already sprouted on the surface. And you take time to breathe in and out, doing that like the earth. Your body also needs time to germinate the seeds of progress. And the power is within your hands to nourish and create change. And you keep breathing in and gently out, allowing your body to surrender and be soft. Very gently, you're starting to bring yourself back to the present moment, bringing some small element of movement to your body. You might wiggle your toes or rub your fingertips, Or maybe you need to do a big yawn. This is the time where you can come to any stretch that your body's still needing today. And very slowly, keeping your eyes closed, you're gently rolling onto your side. Allow time for your body to get comfortable. As you keep breathing in and out. And very slowly, you're gonna make yourself up to a seated position. Still gently keeping your eyes closed. As you keep breathing in and out, make time to lengthen your spine, to soften your shoulder, and to gently let go of any tension that your body might still be holding. And when you're ready, we're going to finish this session with a single chant of Om. So I'll get you to exhale completely. You're going to inhale deeply. Well, thank you for watching and for your practice with me today. If you have any questions,